I set a goal, I let it run in a loop, it burns just a cajillion tokens until a win condition is met, and bada bing, bada boom, we're done with it, okay? None of this hand coding, ew, gross. None of this prompting, also ew, and also gross, okay? We loop. And the quote goes on, I have loops that are running. They are the ones that are prompting Claude and kind of figuring out what to do. My job is to write loops. And this is the kind of next transition I think we're going to see in the next few months, maybe through the rest of the year. Now, this quote was said, and everybody, wow, deep insight. And everybody kind of clapped about it. And if you haven't been following Boris's journey, he's also said phrases a little while back, coding is mostly solved. Now he just says coding is solved. And even more, he says coding is the easy part. The hard part's like infrastructure or hardware or listening to users or getting feedback. Those are the hard parts. But coding, easy peasy, it is solved, lemon squeezy, not a big issue. Now, I take a little bit of issue with that, okay? In fact, I would like to say that I take, well, a lot of bit of issue with that. And let me kind of build up a case, and I'm going to explain to you why I think they're all lying. I think they are all lying to you, and I know that's going to kind of ruffle some feathers. Well, first off, you need to see this tweet right here because it's very important as part of this entire concept. This is Anthropic saying, hey, we've greatly accelerated, okay? We are faster, we are stronger, we're better than we've ever been before. In fact, in this last quarter, Q2 2026, we are shipping 8x the amount of code per employee than we were on the average before 2025. In other words, they are shipping 2 years worth of code every single quarter for every single employee. Hence the reason why coding is the easy part. Coding is solved, bro. We don't write code no more. Okay, we prompt the prompters. All right, big difference. We write loops. We do not code ourselves, review code. It's all done automatically. Hey, me from the future here. So when I say they are lying, what I mean is either A, they are intentionally lying to you, or B, they so believe what they say that even in the face of contrary evidence, they go, nah, I'm correct. I am right. It doesn't, nope, the sky is in fact not blue. No, it's not. Will not accept it. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't think I am. All right, back to past me. By the way, I get even more passionate, so you're welcome. I have been using Linear lately, and look at this. Okay, I just clicked on a ticket. It loaded. I go back. I go forward. Look at how fast this is. I can drag them between columns. Absolutely creamy, smooth. I know. This is unusual. This is not what you expect from software, but this is some of the best software I've been using, and I use it to track all the things I am working on, and you should too. You should try out Linear at linear.app. Now, to the main thesis. I think they are lying, and I think that they're hurting people. I think they're genuinely hurting people. First off, I get lots of messages about people genuinely worried about the future. And hey, maybe there's no room for me left. Hey, I think everything's going to be destroyed. People's jobs are becoming this really frustrating experience where they just have people yeeting code into production. There's absolutely no controls because this is what they've been told to do. Run the loops, code the coders, just let it run, let it fly. And so just even on a personal level, people are feeling really burnt out and freaked out. At least that's the general gist that I'm getting from a ton of people. This has not been so good. And a lot of people's well-being and how kind of their outlook in life has actually gone very negative. I think what Anthropic and more specifically Boris is doing is very destructive. Now, I know I'm going to get, hey man, Boris, he's a nice guy, okay? Like in person, very, very nice. And you know what? I'm sure you're right. In person, humble and nice. But here's the deal. Humble and nice people can do bad things. Now let me make the case to you why I think that they are lying. And I think it's very, very obvious. So the first thing you need to understand is that Claude Code was released for researchers in February 2025. Now, if you're unfamiliar, Claude Code is a little terminal application in which you can prompt Claude to go and do some agentic work and produce code. All right, well, within 2 weeks of releasing that, GitHub issue 392, hey, bro, screen's flickering. A little bit afterwards, April 11th, 2025, in progress, screen's flickering, everybody. And this continues on, 1913, terminal flickering, and there's like so many other issues devoted to terminal flickering. It's almost as if Anthropic thought people needed a little bit more epileptic training so that they can watch their favorite animes. But nonetheless, this is a very well-known issue, and it was reported almost immediately upon research release, meaning that this bug most likely existed not even in 2025, potentially in 2024, while it was all being developed and they actively knew about it, is my personal guess. If you used the product at all during that time period, it was so evident. I remember having my own experiences with it, being shocked people even used the product at all. Well, let's fast forward a little bit. They finally respond to it publicly December 17th, 2025. And I quote, "We've rewritten Claude Code's terminal rendering system to reduce flickering by roughly 85%. Now, first off, that's impressive. I have never, ever in my lifetime seen a bug fix that only works 85% of the time. Like, what kind of stochastic process is going on out there? Like, that is insane." And then they go on to explain how difficult it was. They're building a game engine, brothers, to render some text to a terminal. This was said out loud. A couple days later, December 18th, "We're rolling back a few changes we shipped to Claude Code this week to make sure things are stable heading into the holidays." In other words, hey, coding is largely solved. Turns out it's not largely solved. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I harping so hard on this screen flickering issue? Of course, being known for like 9 months at that point. Why am I harping so hard on it? Well, here's the thing. Screen flickering, that's a pure software problem. There's no hardware involved in this, okay? There's no, the infrastructure wasn't quite right. The capacity, we just didn't have the capacity for non-flickering terminal experience. No, it's the user feedback. We just didn't have the feedback. We didn't even know users didn't like flickering. No, they knew. They were well aware. They probably even prioritized the flickering, considering they also did a whole rewriting of the rendering system. But ultimately, the first swing, the first rewrite, failed epically, failed right next to Christmas, and they had the poll out. And so, hey, is software largely solved? I'm not buying it currently, but here's the thing, is if the story ended there, maybe we could move on, but it doesn't, okay? March 25th, 2026, now we are officially over a year into first known reported issue on GitHub. Over a year, just let that sink in. Over a year of the terminal flickering, text characters laid out in a grid couldn't help but to flicker. Do I feel crazy that this is a crazy hard problem? No, this cannot. I refuse to believe that this is that hard of a problem. Well, guess what? It was finally asked, please fix the uncontrollable scrolling/flickering before the next 3,000 features. People were sick of it. And on April 1st, not as a joke, Boris releases no flicker mode for Claude Code.